What's the worst thing that you can say to a potential distributor?
This question is really, I don't think I've ever been asked this. What is the worst thing that you can say to a potential distributor or customer? I think the worst thing you can say or do, perhaps, is just answer a question they don't ask. I think that that's really important. You know, we tend to throw up on our customers and our distributors. We're so excited about the product line, about the opportunity, that when somebody starts to nibble at us and ask questions, we tend to just go on and on and on and answer and answer and answer and even answer questions they don't ask. So it's too much information. I learned early on, and this is probably the worst thing that I ever did. And I thought I was just so suave and sophisticated, but I would sit down with a potential distributor who would meet me and face to face, because I want to take you back 25 years of being in this industry and going back in time to when I first would sit down with somebody across a kitchen table or at a coffee shop and talk to them one on one, and perhaps their spouse was there as well. And they would ask me to meet with them, and that's what we did. We physically met. I mean, we didn't have any other way to meet. So I built a tremendous local business with the first company that I was with before founding It Works, and it just was a remarkable experience. It taught me so much about what to do and what not to do. So I am, when I first got started, I was so like wanting to be perfect. And I memorized a very lengthy business presentation that I had laminated the pages and put it in a binder, and I would take it and I would use it as a desktop flip chart. And so I would sit down and meet with somebody, and I barely asked them a question. You know, I'm like not even asking them why they were sitting there with me. I didn't even try to figure that out. I just thought they're there, they're interested, and I'm just going to be perfect at this presentation. So I went through the presentation perfectly, had it memorized page after page, barely sucked breath during the whole thing, didn't stop and ask them if they had any questions, and I was going so fast that they didn't want to interrupt. And then I would wonder why they didn't sign up. I mean, why would they walk away? So I eventually started asking, you know, you said you were interested, we met, what went wrong? And they said, well, there's no way I could memorize something like that. And you really never talked to me about me or asked me any questions. Two people said that to me, and I went, oh my gosh, I have this all wrong. Because when I very first gotten started, I was so nervous and shaking so badly when I would do the presentation that I would stop and ask questions. I wasn't that great at it, and I had more success. So I went back to just being Pam. And I went back to being caring and loving and not so businesslike. You know, they had enough of that at work. And so I actually would sit down, and I got so good at this, and I want you to get so good at this too. And then I'm going to segue into how you can do this even online. That I would sit down with them at the coffee shop or kitchen table, wherever we were, and I wouldn't even open the book, and I would ask them why they were there. I never said a word about why I was there or what I wanted, which is what I used to do, throw up on them on all the things that I wanted. So I would say, why are you here? Why did you take an hour out of your day to meet with me? What are you looking for? And then they would answer. Some would be very short, some would be more lengthy, and I would just expand that. I would just keep expanding on that, and by asking more questions. Most of the time, I would never open that flip chart. Most of the time, because by the end of the questions that I would ask them, I knew that this would fit what they were looking for, and they could sense it too. Because I would add in a few words here, a few sentences there, and they were in. I mean, why not? Why not? Because they felt the love and appreciation that I had for them being there. They knew I was passionate about what I was doing. And so I didn't have to get to the facts and figures. And I really realized this it wasn't quick. It took a lot of no's to understand this. But I realized that most people are very interested, especially if they've taken time out to be with you. Customers, the same way. You know, what are you looking for? What are you wanting to change? How could I help you? That's what a customer wants to hear. And then if something's gone wrong with the customer, it's not really anything wrong. It's probably just a miscommunication. And that's what I found out early on too, is communicate, communicate, communicate. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. And by the way, if you have an Ask Pam question for me, make sure you just go to pamsouder.com and submit it. And maybe we'll be answering your question on the next video.